Joining me now is Senator Jeff Merkley, who serves on the Appropriations, Budget, and Foreign Relations Committees, among others. So you've got everything in front of you, Senator. So what does all the drama around Kevin McCarthy's removal mean for getting a spending bill passed and all the other policy fights and, of course, Ukraine?
Well, certainly right now our focus is on the supplemental for Ukraine and the 12 spending bills. The Senate has set a pretty good bipartisan example here. All those bills came out of our appropriation committees with bipartisan support, most of them unanimously, including the most difficult, the Interior bill, which often we fight hard over. So now we have to get those through the full Senate, line them up, and if the House is completely dysfunctional, hopefully the reaction will be, well, we can't get our act together, so let's just approve those Senate bills and make sure the government stays open and that we have a bipartisan vision in place for the coming year.
But you need the House to act on your Senate bills to keep the government open. So you can't do it by yourselves.
Yeah, so that is... I know, and that's what I said. The hope is the House will pick up the bipartisan vision from the Senate, and there's no guarantee of that. But what we had kept saying was that we're going to need bipartisanship in the House to get these done, and on the stopgap continuing resolution, just as we had in the Senate. And in the end, that's exactly the story. Kevin McCarthy had tied handcuffed himself to the MAGA extremists, and that was not a functional ability to govern. And so eventually he had to break that handcuff and say, we'll put up essentially the Senate bill to pass with two big changes: an increase in disaster aid, great, but pulling out the aid for Ukraine. And that was really tragic that he did that. But let's understand that aid to Ukraine was not in the deal made 3 months earlier between the president and the leadership of the House and Senate. The plan was to do that by supplemental. And so we're back to that basic vision. The deal that was struck with the president has been honored for the continuing resolution. And now we're going to go forward. We have to get the funding for Ukraine done. There is no alternative to that.
Senator Sherrod Brown and some of your other colleagues have also written a letter urging both Senate and House leaders and the appropriations committees to immediately advance that legislation. The House position was that it would only be done if it is done with border money as well. White House seems open to that. Are you?
Well, there's border security money and there's border policy, and both need to be improved. But it's part of a broader immigration discussion that will take place. To get anything done in the Senate, you have to have Democrats and Republicans, so that conversation will take. But let me focus on Ukraine for a moment. I have been shocked that a number of Republican senators have wanted to wash their hands of supporting the Ukrainian people. That would be a historic mistake of enormous magnitude. Ukrainians are fighting for freedom of speech and freedom of religion and freedom of assembly and freedom to have a representative form of government to determine their own future against the dictatorship style, the authoritarian style of Russia. They are paying with their lives, and they're asking us to help us with our treasury. We have been, and we must continue. To do anything else is really a Munich moment. If we recall history, when Chamberlain went to Munich and agreed with Hitler that they could take a big slice of Czechoslovakia, called peace in our time, and then the Hitler and Germans went on to drive World War II, take all they could, and we cannot allow a democracy to yield to a Russian autocracy if we believe in championing democracy around the world. We cannot let that happen. And I think a majority of Republicans in the Senate, certainly every single Democrat, believe in the vision of standing shoulder to shoulder with the people of Ukraine. So there is not a choice. We have to pass that support.
In just the brief moment we have left, NBC News has learned that the U.S. this week transferred more than 1 million rounds of munitions seized from Iran to Ukraine, which could help with the critical shortages that Kyiv is facing. Do you support that?
Yes, these are what these are 1 million bullets. They're bullets for Kalashnikov assault rifles. fully supported. It's not a substitute for anything else. It doesn't substitute for artillery rounds or air defense or tanks or armored personnel carriers or anything else. But these million bullets will do more good in Ukrainian hands than they will sitting in a warehouse somewhere.